humble, let me get to it. That motivation music, get control of your life, don't let nobody else do it. Cause I'm not gonna have Metro Ep.524 cruising. Feel like you winning on the...
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So if you hear something you agree with, you disagree with, you like, you dislike, or just want to go ahead and give us a hot take, hit us up on a voicemail line. That's 219-413-9405. And of course, we will play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off of your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code TheRunPodcast. Now, this code can only be applied for first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but basketball season's rolling strong. NFL playoffs is coming around. So you better go ahead, create that account, purchase that ticket for the first time, save yourself $20 on that purchase. Now, on the other hand, Atlanta Falcons got some decisions to make. Now it's nothing at all to do with postseason, but it is pretty much still important. We'll touch on the postseason things in just a sec. But as you know, Falcons, they won over the Arizona Cardinals. They ended up beating the Cardinals 26-19. And I thought it was a pretty solid game on the Falcons' part. Now they moved to 6-9. This is their second straight win. It's a disaster that a team that's 3-12 put up this much of a fight, but whatever. That's another story for a different time. Another good news for a lot of Falcons fans is that pick they traded to the Rams is no longer a top 10 pick anymore. They moved out of the top 10 slot. So now it's at number 11 or 12, I believe. And long story short, to explain that is the more the Falcons win, the further that pick gets away from a top 10 pick. And the least the Falcons win, then the higher that pick goes. So, it is a good thing for a lot of Falcons fans. That's been the main concern is like we traded with the Rams and now they're still going to get a top 5 at one point or a top 10 pick because of the trade. So, it does make things a little weird. But in this game against the Cardinals, I noticed there was a lot of cleaned up penalties. Didn't see as many penalties and all those type of things that I noticed last week in that game against the Buccaneers. But, I still feel a ways about when the Falcons win these ball games. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm never really happy because every time I see it, especially if it's a good offensive performance or close game, the credit, of course, goes to head coach Raheem Morris and offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. And it's just like, the hype starts all over again of like, should we keep them for another year? The answer is no. No way the Falcons should keep Raheem Morris for another year. The Falcons do this every single year where they start winning games that's not even important as soon as there's nothing left to prove. As soon as they're kicked out of the playoffs and as soon as nothing else matters in the regular season, that's when they want to start playing good football. And that's when they want to start winning ball games. So don't fall for the bait. Don't take the bait. I know Kyle Pitts has been playing good. I know Bijan has did his thing, but do not take that bait, man. This is what the Falcons do. Every time they're no longer in playoff contention, that's when they want to decide to play good football, and that's when they start winning ball games. So no, because they won back-to-back games, this doesn't mean Raheem Morris needs to keep his job. This doesn't mean Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, needs to keep his job. They both still need to very much go. They need to go. Now, I'd be shocked if they come out and beat the Rams this following week, which I'll explain in a little bit, but they also play the Saints too. So I don't think a win out is going to be the situation here. But bottom line is nothing that the Falcons do at this point can permit Raheem Morris to get another year. I don't think that should be the case. He wasted the entire season to actually get us to the playoffs and utilize the talent we have on this team. And now you wait to the last 5 weeks to start winning games. So no, nothing permits that in my mind, in my book, that allows him to get another year. Absolutely not. But the good thing, a couple of good things come from these wins with the Falcons. Bijan Robinson, he made some history, man. Got to shout out to Bijan Robinson. Was absolutely balling, but Bijan Robinson became one of 6 active players to hit a 2,000-yard season in the regular season. So the only other 5 are Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, and Jonathan Taylor. And in addition, Bijan Robinson now only needs 68 more total yards to set the record for most career scrimmage yards before turning 24. And this is huge. The only people who are in front of him are Christian McCaffrey and Barry Sanders. So I'm sure Bijan Robinson is going to break this record. And this is tremendous because, wow, him doing this with this team. And I have some of the film to show like the team that like he doesn't have a lot of opportunities. A lot of these opportunities that Bijan Robinson has and that he's creating in the offense that looks so amazing is things that he's doing on his own. Like it's rough. And I got some film to just prove that. So stick with me. I'm excited about Bijan Robinson doing his thing. This kind of brings me to the dominance of Kyle Pitts. He's had a great season his past few games. And I mean, he's looking like he's going to be worth every single penny that somebody decides to pay him. And this has been the conversation in Atlanta is, should the Falcons pay Kyle Pitts? I'm on the verge of saying, hell no. The Falcons should not pay Kyle Pitts. One, because we don't have the money to do it. And two, why would we pay him if we're not going to utilize him like we've been doing for the last 4 years? Makes no sense at all. And going back to the money thing, it's not really a logical way we can break down the salary cap where Kyle Pitts is going to be able to stay on this roster and we can keep Drake London and Bijan Robinson in the following years. It's just not a way. And if I have to choose between Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and Drake London, I'm choosing Drake London and Bijan Robinson. And there's no way we can really balance all three because when you look into the salary cap and the cap space that we have, not a lot of money next year at all. So already we know Pitts is going to get a bag because he's been underutilized in Atlanta. So I'm sure Kyle Pitts is going to get a bag wherever he goes. And the number that we throw at Kyle Pitts is not going to be enough compared to what other teams like the Patriots might give, what the Bears might try and give him, what the Chiefs might try and give him. Who knows who's going to offer Kyle Pitts so much money? But Kyle Pitts recently broke a franchise record for most receiving yards in a 4-game span by a tight end. Falcons are not going to be able to afford him. He's been on a tear. And I know, like, the whole thing is like, okay, well, we can lose a couple guys. We can cut some guys and this and that, and maybe we can keep Kyle Pitts on. That's not going to work. Looking at the numbers of it, and I hate to be that guy, but looking at the numbers of it, it's no way the Falcons are going to be able to keep Kyle Pitts because we got to pay him this year. And I'm expecting Kyle Pitts to at least get over 40 mil, man. Like I really do think Kyle Pitts will get over 40 mil. And just to kind of, let me just look around to where a lot of these other contracts are for tight ends, because I'm sure he's going to become a very one, if not one of the highest paid tight ends in the NFL. That's without a doubt in my mind. So I'm sure that's going to be on his list because he has the dominance to do it. But it's just, I don't think the Falcons will be able to pay that. And I would love for it. This isn't for me to say we shouldn't pay Kyle Pitts at all, but this is something where, hey, we just don't have it. We just don't have it for the Falcons. And I look at like Trey McBride and George Kittle. They're getting paid a little over 19. You got to add the incentives in there, but 19 million. So I'm sure Kyle Pitts, without a doubt, is at least going to get a $19 million contract. And if we were even going to pay Kyle Pitts a $19 million contract, just going based on what we're seeing from everyone else, which I doubt we only have to pay him that much, I'm sure it's just not going to be enough because we won't be able to bring back a lot of other people. So we pay Kyle Pitts whatever amount. I'm sure he's going to get paid a good amount. We have other guys who are coming up on contracts as well, who are difference makers on the field. So it's just not enough it's just not enough cap space that the Atlanta Falcons have to, cut or decide not to re-sign certain guys to pay Kyle Pitts if we're not going to get rid of 3 or 4 other impact players. I mean, Onyemata, he's going to be gone. Leonard Floyd, he can't come back. Caden Ellis, he can't come back. D. Alford, Tyler Algier, and multiple other people are up for contracts in this 2026 year. So none of those guys are coming back if we want to think about giving Kyle Pitts some money to bring him back. And I mean, my thing here is the whole thing I have with, paying Kyle Pitts is it's not that I don't think he's a good player. Of course, I think Kyle Pitts is a great football player. I think he has a crazy amount of potential to thrive in the NFL and thrive with a good game plan, a good team, but he's just been underutilized with the Falcons. However, the last thing I want the Falcons to do is to center 75% of their calorie space or their salary cap around 3 to 4 players. That hasn't worked out for a lot of teams over the course of the 10 years. The last thing I want to do is for us to only pay Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Kirk Cousins, and that's it. We don't have any defensive pieces. We don't have any secondary help. We have no other core outside of those guys and no other help outside of those guys, because you look at Cincinnati, what the Bengals are doing right now. They're kind of struggling to build an actual team because a large majority of the contracts are going to T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. And they haven't been able to get it done, unfortunately. So that's the last trap I want to fall into. However, I would love to re-sign Kyle Pitts, and I think he's had a tremendous season so far. And we've seen a lot of glimpses of his potential, but Kyle Pitts will just be better utilized somewhere else, man. I think he'll be better utilized somewhere else, and it will hurt as a Falcons fan to see Kyle Pitts walk. But again, if I have to choose between Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, and Drake London in the following years, I'm choosing Drake London and Bijan Robinson, because let me tell you something, because if we pay Kyle Pitts this year, 2027, we have to pay Drake London. And then the following year after that, 2028, we have to pay Bijan Robinson. And we know both of those guys are hitting the bank hard. So I'm just saying, this is not a great idea to pay Kyle Pitts and go broke before we have to pay another huge amount to these other guys. And the biggest contract that's really screwing us all here is, we know, the Kirk Cousins, because Kirk is still making $40 million a year. And if we could somehow ship him out, get him gone, we will be able to bring in other players. We'll be able to retain our same guys. And I'm sure there's another quarterback out there that's making way less money than what Kirk Cousins is that could give us the same impact and get us to a positive record. And a lot of that starts with coaching, but that's another story as well. So we'll see where it goes from here. But above all, man, I'm not on the side of paying Kyle Pitts. Great player. I just don't think it'll be smart for the future to keep him around, man, unfortunately. And he's a great tight end. I hope he gets his money, but I just don't think it'll be smart. And if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Hit us up on the voicemail line, 219-413-9405. Let me know what you might be thinking about the whole Kyle Pitts situation, if we should be paying him, if we shouldn't. And it's interesting, man. It'll be tough. It'll be tough to decide, but it'll be tough to decide. Also, I have some film to break down, so stay tuned. If you are on the live, or you might have to go back if you're listening to the pod and watch it on live on YouTube, The Run with Manny Wilson, just to look at some of the film breakdown, and also it'll be on social media as well. So, of course, we'll put that on there, but definitely some film breakdown coming up. So we'll circle back to this. Until then, we'll take a quick break. We got some news for the run. A lot of crazy things happen in week 16 of the NFL. So, of course, we'll get into the highlights and all of those things that happen of week 16 and who's going to be in the playoffs, who's not, who's clinching, who's not, all of these things. So we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. It is halftime. All right, let's do it. Man, that was loud as hell. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson. I appreciate you for tuning in. We got some news for The Run, so hit us up on the voicemail line if you want to comment on anything that is said. That is 219-413-9405. And, of course, you know, we'll play your take back on the next episode. Now, I just kind of want to give a quick rundown of which teams has solidified a playoff spot already and which has not. So, let's start in the AFC to start with teams that have clinched. It's a lot of deciding factors that's going on right now in the AFC, man. It's crazy. It's only two teams that have solidified their spot, and that is the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots. Those two teams have solidified it. Where exactly they'll be in the playoffs, we don't know, but as of right now, they are the top two seeds, Broncos being number one and the Patriots being number two. And then in the NFC, a lot of teams have clinched playoff berth. We still don't know where exactly they will land. However, the Seattle Seahawks are right now the number one seed. They've clinched a spot. Chicago Bears have clinched a spot. Philadelphia Eagles have clinched the division. Still unsure where they'll fall in the playoffs. Rams have solidified their playoff spot. The Carolina Panthers are still fighting right now, but it's looking like they might win the division. San Francisco 49ers have clinched the playoff spot. They are officially locked in. And then after that, got the Packers fighting and the Lions are fighting. And it's a very unique situation for both of those teams right now. But it's tough all along, man, in these divisions and in these conferences. So we'll see what actually happens between these teams. But I know, for example, like the Lions, they are dependent on the Packers to lose out. However, they have to win out in order to possibly get in the playoffs. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes down, man. And I know a lot of things are weird with the AFC or the AFC or NFC West as well, because Seahawks and Rams are just battling, man. These are both 11-win teams who are in the playoffs. And you see a similar situation in the AFC as well with the Chargers, the Bills, the Jaguars. All are 11-win teams, and they're still trying to fight for a playoff spot. Meanwhile, you got the Colts who are in the running as well, but they're currently losing to the San Francisco 49ers. So we'll see exactly what happens. However, let's go over some scores from Week 16, because maybe you've heard some insights about what needs to happen for your team to make the playoffs. So a little recap here is Seahawks beat the Rams on Thursday Night Football. This was a showdown, man. Overtime game, absolute thriller here. Seahawks won 38-37, and it came down to the very last second in OT. Really just an extra 2 point, as I say, the last second. But it was amazing game here for the Seahawks and Rams. Eagles, they ended up beating the Commanders on Saturday Night Football. And the Packers and the Bears game was also insane. Absolute cinema with the Packers and the Bears game, man. Just wild. And, you know, at this point, I said it before early on in the season that the Bears are a scary team because they can beat you in multiple ways, whether that's running the football, throwing the football, or getting defensive turnovers. Hence, they are first in turnovers right now. But the Bears are just finding ways to win these close games, as I've said multiple years. Meanwhile, in the past few years, they weren't winning these ball games, but they finally figured it out. They've always been in the fight of these games that they've played over the past few years. They just haven't been able to win it, whether it was a missed field goal, whether it was an interception, a fumble, a bad call. They're winning these ball games. So the Bears have a lot of momentum going with them right now, and I think they could be a very scary team to go against in the playoffs. Not saying they're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl or anything like that, and it may happen, and you take it game by game and you see what goes down, but ultimately they can be a very scary team to match up against in the playoffs, because they are an elite team. And I think at this point it's obvious to everybody who's watched the Bears. It's obvious. But that's the Chicago Bears. They beat the Packers in overtime, 22-16. The Falcons, they beat the Arizona Cardinals, 26-19. The Bills, they beat the Browns, 23-20. Chargers, they beat the Cowboys, 34-17. Chiefs, they ended up losing to the Titans, 26-9. However, the Chiefs, they have a lot of news going on right now. The Kansas City Chiefs are officially going to be moving out of Missouri. this news broke earlier today that they will be moving to Kansas, and I don't know exactly where, but they are going to be building or having a building something like that. They're going to be using something, but they won't be in Kansas City next season. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes on. But yeah, I don't even know all the details, but you would have to go. It's probably more information out on it right now, but initially, when I seen this, that was all I seen, was that the Chiefs will not be playing football in Missouri next season. So that'll be very interesting. Obviously, we know Pat Mahomes with the injury, no playoffs for the Chiefs. Very rough season for those Kansas City Chiefs fans, man, especially those in Kansas City. The Bengals, they ended up beating the Miami Dolphins 45-21. The Saints, they beat the Jets. The Vikings, they beat the Giants. The Panthers, they beat the Buccaneers. This was an important win because Panthers probably going to win the NFC South, which is crazy. The NFC South, let me just first say this, man. All right, I know Panthers about to win the NFC South, but I think it's only right to admit that the NFC South is just full of bad football right now. In my opinion, there shouldn't even be an NFC South team that's in the playoffs, because we're just taking up space at this point, man. And nobody in the NFC South is like truly legit. Everybody's super inconsistent, whether that's the Bucs and Baker Mayfield, whether that's the Panthers and Bryce Young. Like, everybody's just very inconsistent. You beat the Bills and you lose to the Jets, or it's just so inconsistent in the NFC South all across the board. And I mean, the best rival over there between the Falcons and the Aints ain't even, anything. Neither of those teams are good right now. So it don't really even matter in the NFC South. That's another thing. But I'll say that story for a different time. But, hey, congrats to the Panthers, I guess. Do your thing. Make the best out of the opportunity. As a Falcons fan, I was hoping it was me, but it's not. So do your thing, player. Go ahead. Other than that, you got the Jaguars and the Broncos. The Jaguars, they defeated the Broncos 34-20. And this was crazy because Broncos and Jaguars are both on a crazy win streak. Well, Broncos no more, but prior to, Broncos were on a pretty good winning streak. I believe it was 10 games or 11 games. And then the Jaguars now find themselves on a 6-game win streak. Next week, they play the Colts. So we'll see what happens. But they're rolling with a lot of momentum right now. And Jaguars are definitely striking some belief in fans and just fans who are in Jacksonville Jaguars fans. So it's close, man. We'll see what we do come postseason. Also, the Steelers and the Detroit Lions, man. Steelers ended up winning this game. It was kind of a bogus call. They won 29-24. It was a close game, man. And I go back to thinking about this for Lions fans. And I really don't say this because I swear, man, Lions fans think I'd say stuff to troll them, but I'm really not trying to troll any type of Lions fans. I really do mean, when I say things like, okay, the Lions missed their playoff window, I don't mean like they're going to be bad back to the depressing years, or more so when the Lions missed their Super Bowl window. I don't mean they're going to be bad back to the depressing years or anything like that. Sometimes I just think like, when you have a certain team, and I think we can agree on this, going to the Super Bowl is hard, first off. So I understand no one wants to hear a team miss their Super Bowl window, but going to the Super Bowl is very difficult to do. And I think Lions had an extremely talented team in 2023 and also 2024 when Ben Johnson was there. I think they had a great team, and that was the years for them to go win it because they had the talent on that roster. I know the numbers look identical to other years, but certain things, sometimes it just makes me wonder if they really did miss their Super Bowl window, man. I go back and forth on the window is closed, the window is still open because they have their core. But truthfully, I go back and forth because they had a really good team and a really good opportunity when the conference wasn't as elite as it's become. Now you have multiple teams who are all elite. I mean, the Bears have stepped it up big time. Just in the division alone, it's a lot of elite talent. So because of this, it does worry me a little bit because Bears are only going to get better. Packers are only going to get better. I mean, you look at the other teams in the NFC South. I mean, it's Seahawks, Rams, or NFC Rams and Seahawks. Like, these teams are elite now. So the competition is rising. 49ers are still elite. The competition is just rising in the NFC. And that is really what permits me to say the Lions Super Bowl window is closed. But truthfully, I go back and forth. So I can't say, oh, it's closed and this is exactly why. I can't say it's still open and this is exactly why. Because I jump back and forth. I struggle, man. So I think they had a really good opportunity to win it in 2023, 2024. And it might have been the only opportunity, as Dan Campbell said. Like, it's just rough, man. It's rough. It's rough for those Lions fans. But I don't think they'll ever get back to, you know, the losing season after losing season. They still have the core. They'll be good. And, you know, as long as they bring in more pieces, I think Brad Holmes has to bring in a few more pieces year in and year out. I mean, he didn't do anything at the deadline. That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. But it's definitely not closed. But there's some work to be done in order to get back to, like, contention for the Super Bowl, man. I guess that's what it is. It's just some work to be done. Yeah, it's rough. It really is very, very rough, man. But the Lions, they are almost eliminated from the playoffs. They need the Packers to lose out, as the Lions have to win out through the rest of the season, and then they would possibly get in the postseason. Other than that, you have the Raiders and the Texans. Texans, they are in a serious situation as well, to beating some teams and needing teams to lose as well. I don't have exactly what teams it is, and I can come back with that information, but just know you want to look into the Texans playoff situation as well, because they got some situations. But they beat the Raiders 23-21. It was a pretty solid game. The game was a lot closer than what I anticipated. And then the Patriots and the Ravens, that was the primetime game. Drake May, he did his thing. Patriots erased an 11-point lead, and they came back and beat the Ravens. Lamar Jackson did go down again. But for the Ravens, man, this is rough. This is just rough for the Ravens. So I don't know. But other than that, man, look, that's everything that done happened over in week 16 of the NFL. Other than that, we'll close it out, and then we'll possibly, I still don't know, because Thursday is Christmas. Usually that's when we record, but we'll see. I can't promise that we'll get the other episode, but just bear with me. We will be active on social media. So definitely check the social media, if anything. And other than that, man, I'm looking forward to week 17. I got fantasy championship. I made it all the way to the championship in fantasy. So I'm hype about that, man. And I'm hoping I win in fantasy, bro. Whoo, I need the dub. I need the dub, because I'm in 3 leagues total in fantasy. 2 of them, I'm honestly, I probably ain't even win 3 games. But one of these leagues, I'm in the final championship game. And possibly, as long as Brock Purdy don't splurge, I'll be all right. But I'm hoping I win that ball game, because I need it. I need it. Other than that, man, I'm gonna leave y'all on a positive note and break down this film after. But for those who are listening on the podcast episode, I appreciate it. Send this to a cousin, brother, niece, nephew, uncle, coworker, friend, family member, whoever listens to sports podcasts. I promise you they're not gonna mind. And a positive note is simply just gonna be run your race, man. You know, everybody not built for the same path that you're doing. Some people want you to stop that path. Some people want you to keep going. But as long as you believe in yourself and you know you can accomplish whatever you need to accomplish on that path, stick to it, bro. Stick to it. Don't worry about people saying, oh, that's not a good market for you. Or, you know, maybe you are always good at acting. Maybe you should do that instead of singing, or whatever the case, whatever you are doing. Just go hard in your lane. And as long as you know you're going hard in that lane, you straight. Don't worry about what other folks saying. Other than that, man, that's all I got for y'all. So I appreciate it. I don't know if that was extremely positive or not, but we'll see. Merry Christmas to everybody. Merry Christmas. I ain't got nothing Christmas on. That is crazy. I should have at least put a bow on the hat or something. Damn. But Merry Christmas to y'all folks, man. Hope you enjoy these football games that we about to watch. Some of these teams don't matter because they eliminated already. My team is gone. We up out of the playoffs. Everybody else, enjoy the game. Merry Christmas. Hopefully your team win. Hopefully my coach get fired. You see, we don't know yet. We'll find out Black Monday. But hey, man, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the holidays. Happy holidays. If you don't celebrate Christmas, do your thing. If you don't celebrate any holidays and you just on whatever mode, enjoy these football games. Other than that, I'm up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys, and y'all have a blessed week. And we'll see y'all later on. It's so on, and so on, and so on. All right, let's break down some damn film, man. All right. Man, I'm hot as hell up in here, boy. Woo! All right, we about to break down some film. That's the end of the pod. And now we just breaking down film and stuff. So let me pull this stuff up because Falcons, dog. Falcons. What the hell is going on, man? Wow. And I got a lot of, it might be a lot, it might not. I really don't want to be on here all damn night talking about this team, but sometimes when you look at some of the stupidity that this team does and things like that, sometimes it really does just rub me the wrong way. And it propels me to stay on the damn stream all night, bro. And I don't want to do that. I don't. But I fear this might be the situation. So let me pull up all these damn plays. All right, first couple of plays that I have to pull up. I absolutely have to look at. First things first. Okay, fourth quarter. What was this? Fourth quarter, 2nd and 2. And I'm going to share my screen so you can also see it. 2nd and 2, fourth quarter. And Bijan Robinson caught this screen pass. And this was just pitiful, bro. Like, this is the stuff that pisses me off. And before that, I thought about something too, because like this is yeah, let me just go to this, man. All right, bear with me. Damn, bear with me. Okay, we're going here. Fourth quarter. Hopefully it's clear. It's more clear this way when I pull it up, because sometimes it's not like clear when I show you guys from Twitter. And I like to post it on Twitter as well, just so, folks on there can see it, and, anybody in the Falcons world can follow along. But I found this damn play. Now it's time to share the screen. Damn. Wrong button. Damn. Oh, wait. This is just... I struggle with this team, bro. This is also like... Okay. All right. Before I do this, this is something... Let me stop sharing real quick. This is also something weird. So I noticed it, and you'll see some examples, but for some reason, I don't know why the Falcons offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson, just now discovered that he can use a crossing route to beat man coverage. I don't know why, but this is partially why we've seen Kyle Pitts thrive over these past 3 weeks, because he's been running crossing routes, whether it's 15, 10, 5-yard crossing routes. We're sending him on more crossing routes than I've seen him go on all season long. And it just makes no sense to me, because how are you a football coach in the NFL and you don't understand that a crossing route is the easiest way to beat man coverage, or one of the easiest ways? Because I've never seen Kyle Pitts run up the middle so many times. I think it was, let's see. I have the actual statistic pulled up and everything. So Kyle Pitts, as you know, he recently broke the franchise record for most receiving yards in 4-game spans, in a 4-game span for a tight end. He had 377 yards. However, Kyle Pitts the Falcons offense haven't thrown the ball through the middle the whole season. We've been avoiding it. And in this past game, all of Kyle Pitts' 7 receptions came from across the middle. But yet we haven't just thought all season to utilize him in this way. And this is what drives me crazy, because why do we wait till the last 4 weeks of football to play good football? Where was this? Where has this been? So this is the stuff that drives me crazy with the Falcons. And I'll show you an example of some of that stuff. But as of right now, the example I want to show you is this Bijan Robinson example. I hope you guys can all see it clear. I hope everything looks great. Sorry if not. It shouldn't be any additional audio playing. Let me just ensure I turn this down and then go to this view right here. So this is 1st and 5. Wait, I don't like this angle. This is not what I want. Give me this angle right here. Broadcast. Yeah. Okay. Clearly you see it didn't work. Anyway, so let's look. This is 1st What? This is not the play I even wanted. Not the play I wanted. Let's see if the next one comes up and it's the right one. We're trying something new here, ladies and gentlemen. Trying something new. Bear with me. Bear with me. We're trying something new. Because usually I already have the plays pulled up on Twitter. But this time, I just wanted to be a little more clear for y'all. Damn. So bear with me. Bear with me. I think this is it. This is the same view. It's probably the wrong play. Yep. That trash handoff. But Bijan creates an opportunity per usual. Per usual. As he does. Why is this in the first quarter? Not at all what I wanted. Go to the filter. We're looking in the fourth quarter. Okay, and here we are. Yeah. Here we are. Here's this tragic play. Oh my, I hope it lets me. Pretty please let me switch to view. Pretty please switch to view. Why does it not switch to view? What the hell, bro? Damn. Why, you see what I'm saying? All right, you know what? Whatever. Anyway, you can see it from this perspective. Screen pass to Bijan Robinson. This is 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. Screen pass to Bijan. Looks like we're not going to get another view that I want. But whatever. We'll figure it out at some point. Anyway, screen pass to Bijan Robinson. Not effective at all. And you might look at this play and you wonder why it's not effective. 2nd and 2. Bijan somehow still picks up the first down. But you look at a play like this. 2nd and 2. Screen pass. Why do we have no one block? This is what I mean when I say Bijan Robinson creates almost all the big plays and opportunities on his own. He does not have help from a lot of other players on his team because this screen pass simply is a touchdown if we have Darnell Mooney and Seals on the outside block. Like, look, who throws a screen pass with nobody blocking? Darnell Mooney does nothing on this play. It's almost like he got scared. I had to watch this play multiple times just to make sure it wasn't an RPO or anything where Kirk might actually throw it to Darnell Mooney or Seals on the outside, because I was just baffled by the fact that neither of them on a screen pass decided to touch a defender. And if you look at what Darnell Mooney does, he actually runs right past the defender. Both of them. They run to the defender, shuffle their feet, and don't touch him. What good is that doing? Bro, if you get this linebacker here, if you actually block this linebacker here, bro, they don't touch him. They don't touch him. If you block this linebacker here, this is a touchdown. I mean, dog, come on, man. He literally just has an open path to Bijan Robinson. An open path to Bijan Robinson. Cody Simon, the linebacker for the Cardinals, is untouched. Untouched. Seals doesn't touch anyone. And Mooney doesn't touch anyone. Hell, they go block the same guy. They try to block the same guy, first off, which is also just weird because if you're throwing a screen pass, one person should go block the linebacker, the other maybe go block the safety or the corner. So this is already just weird that they're trying to block the same guy. But to make this even worse, they go block the same guy and neither one of them touches him. They literally just run, shuffle the feet, and move right past him. So I initially thought, oh, this is an RPO because obviously they wanted to stay eligible as a receiver, so they run his way, but just in case Kirk wants to throw the ball to him on a slant route, they want to stay eligible. No. They literally don't touch him. And this is exactly the stuff I'll be talking about when I say Bijan Robinson creates these opportunities on his own. Okay, now the video is not playing. But this is exactly what I talk about when I say this type of stuff. Because look at this. Just pitiful. Pitiful. Literally don't even go touch him. And Bijan still picks up the first down, man. This man be creating all the opportunities on his own. And this is part of the reason I say Bijan is the best running back in the NFL, because he does not have help. On a lot of plays like this, he doesn't have help. It's maddening. It's maddening. Now I get all the angles once I'm done ranting, but it's all good. I'm not going to lose my cool too much. Like, how silly is that play? How silly, bro? Okay. I got another example for you. So that's not it. There's more here. Don't worry. Another one here. I was interested. Let me see. That was the biggest one there, because that one was just baffling. It was really, really baffling to me. 3rd and 5, 11:29. Falcons sack was a big play here. 3rd and 5, 11:29. Was this in the fourth? Well, yeah, it was right here for Jacoby Brissett. I really wanted to break down this play because Falcons got to him. And I think it was just a beat down from the defensive line all around. Like, we just whooped ass on this play all around. I'm like, I want to like slow it up. But man, Jacoby Brissett stood no chance. Let's go from end zone view here. He really stood no chance here. And let's slow things up, because, you know, I got to process things. So it looks like here, okay, 1, 2. He's up, 3 down linemen. And we got James Pierce on the edge over here. And I think we rushed. I think we rushed Jalen Walker and Jalen Pierce on this too. Watt is stepping back. Diablo and Ellis steps back. This defense shows out also. That's another side note. This defense shows out when Divine Diablo and Ellis is playing, man. This defense is really good when they're active. Anyway, you got these guys down. Ellis steps back. He drops back into coverage. Nothing crazy. And then he drops in here. But you just look at the beat down. Almost every offensive lineman on this play got beat by a Falcons defender. I mean, damn. Brandon Dorless, he does nothing crazy. All he does is just moves around to the front end here, which was really, really cool on his part. But you look with James Pierce. Let's just watch James Pierce. He's coming hot off the edge. And he's got this guy stressing. He just drives him back. Oh my gosh. Just straight bully ball. Drives him back. Let's look at the other side. Man, I love these two dogs right here. Love these two dogs. Jalen Walker, let's see what he do. I think he just drives this left end or left tackle back. Tries to hit him with some fancy moves. And just blows past him. Gets to Brissett. One of these guys was getting a sack, man. This was just a dominant possession here by the Falcons D-line. Let me speed it up a little bit because I do have it very, very slow. But this was a very dominant possession here. And then we got Street, number 93. Street, he kind of goes in. He's the only one. I mean, he does a great job kind of taking away and giving that opportunity to Brandon Dorless to get into the pay. But yeah, I'll get into the quarterback. But ultimately, man, on this play here, I just see our defensive line going to work, man. And it starts, truthfully, this possession here, it starts with Jalen Walker on the edge and James Pierce Jr. on the edge. This defensive line went to work on this possession here. And this is why Brissett was he was flustered. His offensive line couldn't hold. These two coming off the edge, they push in the left tackle and the right tackle, just pushed them back deep, man. I mean, you look at what James Pierce Jr. did on this possession. He blew that guy up. Oh my gosh. Look at that. He blew that right tackle up. He just monster, just, oh my gosh. And that set up the sack for Brandon Dorlus to go in and obviously make a big play. But man, like that was just a dominant play and a dominant possession from that defensive front. And that's why I'm so excited about this defensive front too. That's also another reason why I don't want to pay Kyle Pitts, because we lose some guys in this defensive front. So just a great play. Jalen Walker gets around his guy. And then Dorlus is, I mean, hey, he comes across the center and it's there. Brissett has nobody open. That's at least what it looks like. He has no targets open. If you pause it right there, Brissett has no targets open by the time that it has collapsed because of James Pierce Jr. and Jalen Walker. Yeah, he has nobody open right now. You ain't hitting Marvin Harrison because he's covered by Kaden Ellis and Devon Diablo. And yeah, you look at the rest of these guys. No, it's no way he can turn and make that out route there. I think it's Michael Wilson. He's not making it. Wow. See, but that's what a good defensive line does, man. A good defensive line will definitely make things easier for the secondary and just bring that pressure on the quarterback, man. Love that. Definitely love that. And let's see. I wonder how big this is for you guys. Let's see. I can always change it later, so I'll make this a little bit bigger. Hopefully that's better for y'all. And okay, third quarter. There's a run. Third quarter, 5:20. It was a great blitz, but just a better play by Brissett. I don't really need that. Michael Carter run. Let's go look at that. 7:20 in the third quarter. Let's see what that was. Put a note to self. I said 7:20 in the third. Okay, it should be one of these. It was a Carter run. Oh, here it is. Is it this one? I think this is what I might have been referring to on the note. Yeah, that's got to be it. Okay, yeah, I needed, this was exactly the play I remember I wanted to see. Because what the hell, bro? Like, damn, I need to, slow-mo it up and just let's take a deep dive into what the hell is going on here. Okay, let's look at each position as we break this down so we can really figure out what was happening. And I wish I had it. I'm going to switch to another angle, but got McBride in motion, down block. It's kind of a block in the back, but just stop there. Let's go see this here. Motion. Yeah, down block. Guys just down blocking. Oh, and he tries to come around. Who is this? I can't see exactly who that is right now. Oh, no, that's Kaden Ellis. Damn, he overshot it. And that was a great pickup, actually. Wow, that was a great pickup by that left tackle. Or right tackle. Number 71. Wow. John Gaines II. That was a really good pickup on Kaden Ellis. Because he read and Kaden Ellis read the run play. Damn. That was great blocking. Wow. That was really, really good blocking from the Cardinals. Okay, let's look at another position. Watching the center. Yeah, center clears Devon Diablo too. If you look at the Cardinals center, he clears Divine Diablo also. Down block, gets to the linebacker, and that's what made the run such a big run. Whew. This was beautiful blocking, man. Talk about moving people out the way. '74. Let me see what he was doing. That's the guard, the right guard. Yeah, he's the one that picked up Caden. That wow. Yeah, I'm just impressed, man. You got the left tackle over here. See what he did. He sealed off that left side. Didn't have a crazy job. And then a left guard. Oh wow, he was helped. I was, because 94 on our side. LaCale London, he rushed to the right anyway, so that made the left guard's job even easier because he like, okay, bet you already stepped to the side. I just gotta push you out the way. Wow. So to sum this play up here, it was just beautiful blocking up front, man. Honestly, from the Cardinals, this was just beautiful blocking up front. From specifically the center and the right guard is what stands out to me because you'll see Caden Ellis on the Falcons. He'll dive in to pick up the run because he clearly read run as you see the tight end Trey McBride in motion, and he dives in. But as he dives in, the left guard picks him up, and then the running back gets to the secondary only because Divine Diablo is picked up by the center. So between these two guys, yeah, that was just beautiful. They really made this run work. Everybody else did their job in terms of, locking up who they need to and just sealing off. I should say that in terms of sealing off whoever they needed to. But this was just a beautiful run here and beautiful blocking up front, man. So credit to the Cardinals for that type of run, man. Michael Carter had a great run because of it. Wow. That was almost big. That was almost home. That was a home run type of run from Michael Carter. He could have took that home if it wasn't for Jesse Bates. So credit goes to Arizona for actually stepping up and blocking. That was good. That was a good run. I like that. Can't do nothing but give him credit. And let's see what else we got. We have Kyle Pitts. Oh, yeah, we got it. That's what I wanted to do. Break down to Kyle Pitts, man, because Kyle Pitts, man, all these damn catches he has received and just like, man, like I ain't never seen Kyle Pitts run this many crossing routes and just, I ain't seen him ever get this active in the middle all season. And this is just mind-blowing that all of a sudden Kyle Pitts is across the middle. They all of his passes were across the middle. Player. Yeah, let's. I'm not going to go through all 34. There was one in particular that I really wanted for Kyle Pitts. Nope, that is definitely not it. Play result, completion. Oh, okay, this is doable. 3rd and 10. This was one of the plays I wanted to break down with Kyle Pitts. And let's just play it first, and then from there we'll go. But yeah, just, basic crossing routes. Nothing special. That's what's interesting about this because the Falcons have gotten Kyle Pitts active over these past 3 weeks. Like I said, all 7 of his receptions came in the middle of the field. He recently broke the franchise record of most receiving yards from a tight end over the stretch of 4 games. So, he's been active, but this is a big reason why. Because we've never seen Kyle Pitts run across the middle of the field as much as we have over the past 4 games. I don't know why, But for some reason, it's like our offensive coordinator finally realized that, oh, we can beat man coverage by running a crossing route or sending Kyle Pitts underneath. Like, this makes it's weird to me. I'm glad we finally figured it out, but some other team in the NFL is going to thrive with Kyle Pitts because he is truly a great tight end. Like, you look at this route, Cardinals are in man coverage here, and as Kyle Pitts is in motion, it causes these guys to shift. Now, they have an extra DB on the field, so another corner. This causes the other corner to shift, and the safety is going to be on Bijan Robinson right down here. Bijan is going to run an out route, and Kyle Pitts is going to run this like 5-yard crossing route. So let's see it. He's here, and he just beats the guy. He just beats him. But this is what makes Kyle Pitts so special is because he can legitimately beat DBs on crossing routes and just other routes. Like, he has the speed, he has a size advantage, all of these things. So like, he just beats him. And this was a hefty blitz package as well from the Cardinals. So yeah, you look at this, the Cardinals send all the linebackers. They're cover zero here. This is an all-out blitz. So Kirk really doesn't have much time to make this decision. And I seen something where Kirk was 0 for 9 under pressures, or I think it was 1 for 9. He was very bad under pressure. And this is something that would help, obviously, a young quarterback in Penix in pressure situations, and also any quarterback in pressure situations, hence Kirk Cousins, when you send guys on crossing routes in cover zero. Look, come on, man. You got a DB blitzing. You have one defensive back blitzing. You have 2 linebackers blitzing. Like, come on, man. They just rushed 7 people. And this is not the first time this has happened all season where teams have rushed 7 at Kirk or Michael Penix. But it's just the fact that we've never thought to send Kyle Pitts on a crossing route or up the middle of the field, or even Drake London up the middle of the field. It makes no sense, but weird. But that was, cool. Cool for Kyle Pitts. That's another completion here. And I don't know if I remember this one exact, but second quarter. Just dart to him again, up the middle of the field, man. This is just what's crazy. We send Kyle Pitts up the middle of the field and play, things happen. And this is in zone coverage too. It's low-key a very risky throw. Looks like this linebacker is going to drop back into zone coverage. I think cover 4 maybe. Could be wrong, so don't quote me. Could be a variation of cover 4. And I say cover 4 just because you're going to see 2 high safeties. Let me just take a look again. Could be cover 2. Yeah, with just 2 high safeties. The outside is on man coverage. And let's see what these guys do. Are they following a man or what? This guy's on Bijan. Yeah, that must have been just a blown coverage there. Could have been cover 2, but I also could be wrong. But either way, Kyle Pitts, another catch over the middle. This is what they've been doing. And this is a touchdown. This is how Kyle Pitts got multiple touchdowns last week. Crossing routes. Send him in motion, crossing route. Right up the middle. Easy. Open. Like, I don't know why we haven't thought to run Kyle Pitts through the middle all season, or hell, even Drake London across the middle all season. It's almost as if Zach Robinson just found out, oh, this is the best way to beat man coverage, and this is one of the easiest ways to score. He tells him to bounce, and this guy just gets clipped. But where has this been all season? That's my only issue with us finally sending Kyle Pitts over the middle is, where has this been all season? Motion, send him on a crossing route. The defender can't hang. He hits someone else, and now Kyle Pitts is wide open. Like, where has this stuff been, bro? You can't make it up. It's simple football, but yet our offensive coordinator made it so damn difficult of trying to do whatever it was he was trying to do. I don't even know. He had another, what was this one? 9-yard completion, 3rd and 8. Another 3rd down. We're utilizing Kyle Pitts, which, you love to see it. underneath, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. We've been misutilizing Kyle Pitts all season, bro. All season long. Man coverage. Zone. Never mind. I'm sorry. This guy's going to drop back. He's going to drop back. Zone coverage. We just find the open zone, man. Again, another blitz, but what is this he runs? A stick or an in? An in route. Just a little basic in route. Crazy. Yeah, man. I don't know why we don't utilize Kyle Pitts. Or why we haven't been utilizing Kyle Pitts this whole way. This way, I should say. Damn, Kirk trying to get that man killed. Crazy. Okay, what else do we have? Easy money. Easy money, man. All right, let's look at Kirk interception. That was one of the plays I definitely wanted to see. Want to double back to his interception. If he'll show me it. Yeah, the interceptions on here. Oh my! Hey man, also too, I apologize if I'm tired, man. I just got back from Michigan, so we were out near Detroit, man, and fam for the holidays. So your boy is kind of tired. I ain't gonna lie, but that's also another reason why I'm not gonna be on a stream all damn night. But let's see, interception. I do want to see these because again, too, it might not be an episode Wednesday or Thursday. Kirk interception. Damn. Yeah, Drake London fell and really wasn't. Yeah, that's just like a timely throw. This is tough, man. Yeah, I don't really see the blame falling on anyone in particular. I can't really say Kirk did a bad job. Looks like Cardinals was in man coverage. Could be wrong. Let me double check. Let me slow this up. Hold on. What y'all thought this was? I gotta watch it at 0.5. Yeah, it looks like man coverage. Everybody's locked. You have one high safety. Oh, this is actually really cool. This is really cool. If I think it's what it is, if I think this is what I'm actually seeing. No, yeah, it's cover 2. Okay, yeah, this is man cover 2 or cover 2 man, whatever you want to say. And then Drake London motions, and it does throw it off a little bit, but this corner is still on him. Safety is helping, protecting his side of the field. And then, I mean, it's a risky throw. It's not a bad throw from Kirk Cousins. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it is when that's not the case. But for Cardinals to be in cover 2, man coverage, and then London kind of sits right in between the corner who's manned up on him and also the guy protecting his hash of the field. And yeah, he just slips, man. That's a rough play. It's not a bad design, nothing like that. It's just a rough play. Do I think Drake London might have been able to sell it a little bit more had he not slipped? Probably, but also I can't promise that the defensive back wasn't on that. It looked like he kind of already was on that. As Drake was like 10 yards on it, he was kind of sitting on that route already. So it might have been a pass breakup, but it turned into an interception. So I want to give actually the Cardinals the credit for this because defensive back was kind of sitting on that route as soon as Drake London started to break. And that could have been a pass breakup, but because Drake London slipped, it ended up being an interception. So I wouldn't put that on Kirk Cousins. I wouldn't really put that on Drake London. It just so happened he slipped, man. That's rough. All right, I think I got all the ones I wanted to break down for the most part. There are some more things, but again, I can't be on here all day, man. I'm missing part of the other game too. So we'll do that. And yeah, man, look, well, everybody on the stream, I appreciate it. You know, you tapped in, you watched later, whatever the case is. You know, I appreciate it. We'll be back at some point later on. But that's all I got, man. So I'll be back later on. And y'all boys, be easy.